it seems just to be like it's getting watered down. So, YouTube Nation, tap in. I see you. I see you. I see you. So yeah, man. I wish Father's Day was when I was coming up. Father's Day was a big thing. I don't know. It could have been big for me because I didn't have a father. My father was killed. So I want to say that my siblings, wherever you may be, some in South Florida, some in North Florida, some right here in Tampa, Bay Area, some in Las Vegas, and some in New York, wherever my father's children may be, even though our father's not with us. I just want to give a shout out to my siblings, on my father's side. And so, Father's Day goes pretty deep as I thought about um, my natural father being killed. I actually spoke to my siblings first thing this morning, and or at least one of them first thing this morning. But yeah, it's an amazing thing. I did an event. I hosted this event the other night, and in hosting this event, it was actually a talent show for the youth. And good morning, all of my fellas, all of my sisters. How y'all doing this morning? Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Pretty Blazing. Um, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. And you know what? Guess what? There are some mothers. There are some women that they may not be actual fathers, but they have had to do the job of a father. They have had to wear the pants and the skirt, so to speak. And so, I give a shout out to those sisters out there that done had to hold that thing down olo solo. And yeah, so I did hosted this talent show. It was such a great thing to see. It was probably more fathers there than it was mothers. That's not a knock on any of the mothers. That's not a knock on any of the mothers. But it was so good to see so many fathers in the building, supportive of their children and supportive of their efforts, supportive of their dreams, whatever they may be. Because our dreams gonna change. When we little, when we young, your dreams change fast, man. They probably shouldn't, depending upon what people are putting in front of them, what type of inspirations they have every day. But when you're young, when you're a kid, dreams change fast. Whatever, you could want to be a cowboy one day and you want to be an Indian the next day. Cops one day, robbers the next day. I know, I've been there. And so, yeah, dreams change fast. They move, and we got to support our kids as long as it's something that we can see worthy of being supported. And a lot of times we might not agree at that time. Yes, firefighter, firefighter. Happy Father's Day, firefighter. Indeed, indeed, man. A firefighter, that's the most boy. That's a courageous job. That's a courageous job. Out of respect for a firefighter and a cop, I don't know what's more dangerous. I don't know who has to have the most heart. And I'm saying that in respect to this, in respect to John Smithy. John Smithy. Yes, man. I don't know because I don't have the courage to do either. So yeah, I don't have the courage to do either. I won't lie about that. So I actually think both of these guys or both of these professions, whether it's men or women, I think these are some of the most courageous people ever. I don't know the thing about running into a fire. I mean, the fire is already on fire. I mean, like, it's no doubt there's a fire. A cop situation is a little bit different most of the time. You can be a cop probably year round without actually going into, I mean, probably for months without actually going into a fire, so to speak. But every time a firefighter gets a call, that brother got to go in the fire or that sister. Good morning, happy Father's Day, praise God. Truth Boat Trav. That's right. Good morning, happy Father's Day, praise Father God. Praise God, my brother. I'm with you on that. Indeed. You could join me, by the way. Anybody can. I would love to talk to my firefighter guy. I wonder what he think is more dangerous. I wonder how long you been a firefighter. But yeah, so I mean, like, with school situations, I think cops definitely have a dangerous job. They never know what's waiting on them either. But a firefighter, it's like when people call the firefighter, there's a fire. You know, you can, there's like not a lot of ways around that. And so, yeah, good morning, happy Father's Day. Okay, yeah. And yeah, it's not a lot, there's not a lot of ways around that. Yeah, man, pass it on, tell your loved ones happy Father's Day. And I don't know, it seems to be getting watered down. The celebration that used to be around Father's Day is not there anymore. The support for fathers and the support for the traditional family is not there anymore. I don't know what has happened. I mean, you can kind of see it in the news. You can kind of see it in even in social media. You can kind of see it with records and information and documents. Um, the traditional family is changing. The traditional family. Let me see this here. Encourage your viewers. I think the firefighter is more courageous. Whoa. All right. I think so too. I mean, like, yeah, both of them are courageous. So, Pretty Blazing says she thinks the firefighter is more courageous than the cop. And in some regards, and like I said, we're not down in either. In some regards, they both are courageous. I'm not running into a gun. I'm not running. I mean, you actually see the real courage of all of these people, but you see more of the courage of a cop when that school shooting in some cases happened, or that situation where that we've seen so much on TV. So I give these cops high regard as well. Um, you know, you running into, especially when you see the images. When you see the video, when we're afforded to see the video to Kentucky, Tennessee, wherever these school shootings may be, when you're able to see that, and God bless all of these children, especially Uvalde, because that situation went totally different, which also makes me understand, which also gives me more credibility, or yeah, that firefighter, he courageous. Yeah, Uvalde, Texas was different, and I don't know if I've ever heard of a situation or even seen a situation um, where firefighters decided we can't do it. And unless it's just, I'm pretty sure at some point fire buildings get to the point where they can't be saved as well. But man, firefighters, they go in. They go in. Invite Shazad. I would love anybody to join if we're on record on talking about the same thing. I don't know what contests and all of that stuff and challenges are about. I just talk. Yeah. So sorry, I'm not fun. Um, Yeah, I think they're both courageous, and most of the time, I mean, a firefighter have a lot of elements to deal with. The building coming in on them at any time besides the fire. I mean, I don't know. A firefighter could actually sit me down and say, "Oh, nah, it's different because of this and that." But man, you got to have some courage to run into a fire, and you got to have courage to run toward the gunshots as well. Um, Oh, come on. How? I don't know how. Let me see. Let me see. Reply. I don't know how. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't really know myself. Somebody should tell us. Yeah, I don't really know myself. Uh, because everybody else has an invite. You can hit an invite button. But you should be able to hit something that says join. Hostess. Oh, I think I just learned. No, I don't see how. Anyway, somebody got to tell us. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I definitely give a lot of credit to both. I'm not running toward gunshots. Neither am I running to a fire. Yes. So,
goodness.
And yeah, so how do you feel? I saw your comment. You said you feel like the firefighter is more courageous, has to have a little bit more courage. So expound on that. What makes you feel that way? And what would you rather do? Would you rather go into a fire, running into the fire, or would you rather be that guy running toward those gunshots? Because the gunshots, like on sound, when you hear it, I don't want to run toward no gunshots. But
Yeah.
like when you actually grasp the whole concept, you know, and like I said, I to narrow it down more, it's about being a cop or a firefighter. So I think generally safer. I think it's generally safer for every call for the cop. And so okay, so open up how you feel about
Okay.
that.
I would say I would rather, like, if it was either or, I would rather be a cop because, yeah, they're running towards gunshots or whatever like that. But every time a cop calls his partner to be like, hey, come on the way, or, oh, I need you down here, it doesn't necessarily mean that you walking into gunshots. Like the
Right.
firefighter, like you said, like every time they get a call, they already know, okay, boom, it's a fire, so we got to handle this. You know what I mean? Like the firefighters, when they're walking in there trying to, see if there's any people left or whatever, it's like this building is falling. So either you're going to get out or them buildings going to fall on you and it's going to take you out. With cops, it's like they could call more and more people. You know what I mean? Not saying that firefighters can't call people, but it's like cop calls, to one another isn't, in my, to me, my opinion, I just don't think that, a cop calling another cop to say, hey, it's serious, doesn't necessarily mean they going down there and somebody finna get killed or somebody finna get knocked out or whatever, as bad or as courageous as a firefighter.
I wonder per like on average, I wonder. I mean, I've never looked up the stat. I guess I only started talking about it because I saw the firefighter come on, and but I wonder how many firefighters lose their lives per year versus cops. That would be pretty interesting. I don't know. I don't know if my brother's still on here and if he could tell us, but firefighter John Smith. I don't know. That would be pretty interesting because I would think that more cops lose their lives, but there are fires that we see in the forest. When it comes to the great forest, those firefighters that have to deal with those winds and stuff like that. You never know. I don't really know. I would say that on a scope of things, it seems like cops might lose their lives more, but I don't know. It still seems like to me a firefighter has to be like top of the line of men of courage. You have to have some real uh whether you're a man or woman, you have to have some real courage to run into a fire, or especially a fire building when everything could collapse at any time. And yeah, that's what that is. Bam. And so as what I started talking about was the diminishing of fatherhood, diminishing of the traditional family, and whether you're a firefighter or a cop or just a regular father at home or a father just working a regular 9 to 5, it seems like the traditional family is being watered down. And then when you look at Father's Day, seemed to be celebrated different when I was coming up. And I'm not gonna say because I didn't. It's not like I looked up the information, but I don't remember June being Pride Month when I was young. Maybe that's because I'm old, and so a lot of the things that we see today were hidden or uh, not as out in front of everything. Um, but you know, when it comes to that community, and I don't want to say it because I don't. I've learned some trigger words, and part of the trigger words are telling the truth. So if you tell the truth, you can get canceled and stopped at any time. You're only allowed to talk about things that makes TikTok happy, and Facebook happy, and Instagram happy. So you have to basically not be willing to touch certain issues, which is basically uh, not being willing to tell the truth on certain things. And so I won't do that. I'll just talk around it, and it seems like to me now, you have Father's Day inside of the same month as oh thanks inside of the same month, Connie. So Father's Day being inside of the same month as what they call Pride Month, or I don't know if the I think it's pretty much all month long. The recognition of fathers doesn't get nearly the recognition that that it needs for one, um, and that it actually deserves. I mean, like I like. Uh, Let me see, what's this guy named that ran for president? Larry Elder. Shout out to Larry Elder. Larry Elder talked about just the biggest thing to be a setback to the black community for a long time. And Larry Elder always started out most of his reasoning, his logic, his conversation about the absent father in the home. And I'm gonna be honest, being that I probably didn't understand it or didn't really follow it, I got kind of sick of hearing it. Um, Maybe because I was a victim of a fatherless home, and I felt like my mom did great as a single mother, and so maybe that's why I didn't want to hear it. And I didn't understand why he kept nailing it down, even as he ran for president. Larry Elder. I'm speaking of the great Larry Elder. Uh, Even as he ran for president, he opened up most of his presentation about um, the lack of fathers in the home. And when you look at what's going on today, eventually I've come to understand that Larry Elder knew exactly what he was talking about. He knew why he was saying what he was saying. He knew the effect that it was having on our households and our communities, especially black households. That's what I'm speaking of more. Uh, in more respect to the black household than any other color because we are the highest. We lead the nation uh, with fatherless homes. I think the black man is about 60% of the homes now where there are no black fathers in the home. And Hispanics are somewhere around 40%, and whites or Caucasians, whatever you want to label that label, are somewhere around 25%, which is low. And that's probably because those white women didn't want them in the home at that time and no more. And so when you actually think about the dynamic, what's going on today, and Michael Murphy, how you doing? Um, yeah. So when you think about what's going on today, when you think about the celebration, Mother's Day is in May, I think. Mother's Day is in May. Father's Day follows it up in June. How did this happen? Like, why Blazing, if you're still on, don't feel intimidated to speak on anything. Just say, well, I mean, I don't know if you have a view on that, because you're not a father, but as a person, just because you're not a father, don't mean you don't have a view on it. Um, so it seems like to me, the more we see issues where the fatherless homes are gives out information that tells us that yeah, this is detrimental. This is the reason why the lack of education is here. This is the reason why the lack of will is here. This is the reason why a lack of Manhood is here. This is the reason why they don't want to. This person in particular, or that person may not want to work. Has no toughness about him. Doesn't want to do anything but being involved in these little gadgets that seem to drive our world right now. So many people are caught up with this, and when we look, it's not a secret. It's not a secret. All the boys, I was so amazed the other day. I say the other day, but it was probably a week ago. To see these kids playing street football, you know, and that don't sound good, but street football was something that we always saw when I was young. That was something we always did. And you don't see kids doing any of that. You don't see the freeze tag, kickball, football in the street, kill the carrier. We probably don't want to do kill the carrier that much anymore, but you get my point. Skating, it was nothing to see black kids. All us riding on skates.
They all on
Even,
stuck in their phone screens now.
yeah.
That's all they know. They don't want to like even if like they went to a store or a grocery store, you know what I mean, and like somebody asked them out the blue. So, you ever seen Arthur, or you ever seen, certain type of cartoons or whatever on PBS Kids? They'll be like, Arthur, what I look like watching Arthur. You know what I mean? It's like it seemed like the black community, the young children, all they know right now, and I'm not saying all of them, it's just speaking in general.
Right.
But my opinion, it's like when you go on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram and you just scrolling through videos, all you see is little kids, doing some little TikTok dance or whatever, and little girls in these tight behind clothes and stuff, and that's not cool. You know what I mean? And it's like women out here, they get, of course, humiliated or embarrassed or whatever when people try to tell them, girl, that's your daughter on Facebook doing all that dancing and shaking and all that type of stuff, and you ain't like saying nothing to her. Girl, I let her do what she want to do. That's not cool.
Goodness
you know
gracious.
what I mean? Like, it's just
yeah.
when I was a kid, it wasn't like that.
So we have a comment from Shannon. I would like to know if Shannon wants to come on. I think it's a very, very, very not overstated comment, and I think it's true. I think it's real. She says, and I don't want to mislabel anybody because I know I actually have a guy friend named Shannon. So I will say, Shannon says, I think it's because of who. Oh, I think it's because of without the men in the home, the women get help from the government. A lot of people, they don't want to give a lot of thought to that statement, and they really want to downplay it. But what Shannon says is exactly correct. That's even documented. And once that's a direct document and attack that they as a tactic that was done through Lyndon B. Johnson a long time ago. And as a matter of fact, he was on record saying, we're going to give them everything they want. We'll have these jiggers voting Democrat for the next 100 years. And that is exactly what happened. Now, I'm not making it a Democrat Republican thing, but what I am saying is just like Shannon said, once people started getting help from the government, if the man was not in the home, that is when they start getting help. They gave incentives to keep the man out of the home by giving away homes, giving away bills, basically getting their bills paid and getting these free, somewhat, so to speak, homes. My brother said, okay, so Jerome, um, you're free to join if you like to, Jerome, or even Shannon. I thought that was a great comment. I thought it was a lot of incentive from the government for women to keep. As a matter of fact, women, all they have to do now is paperwork. Back in the days, these officials actually came into the home. You're talking about looking in closets and stuff. You just have to. A lot of our old stores we're not in tune to. They didn't have TVs and a lot of things like that to give us the truth of what was going on. So we have to read and find out about this stuff. They literally came in and did real checks to make sure there was no man in that home. And like my brother or my sister said, Shannon, without that man in the home, that was more of a reason to get that help from the government, or a more of an incentive to get that help from the government. And once that dependency started, it's it's an ongoing situation. And I respect for those. Wow, that really, I really, I, you know what? I think I'm gonna be honest, because I didn't know, Shannon. I'm saying this to you. I don't know if Eric. I don't know if what's the young lady name? She's Pretty Blazing, um, had enough. But whatever, could you tell her whatever you did to make yourself?
Yeah, Shannon, you see like down at the bottom where it has the comment and then the emoji, there's like a little thing that says multi guest. It's like it look like two people together. That's right next to the rose. Just click the multi guest.
Yeah. See, Shannon, that's what a lot of people do to keep others from talking and stuff like that. They want to only make sure it's people with certain followers that they're talking to. I don't care. I like to talk to anybody, especially if we're talking about something good, especially if we're talking about something big. Deon, oh, what's up? You should join. My friend in England, my sister. Yeah, so that's what they do to try to keep people from actually communicating and talking. And so yes, yes, yes. And so a lot of times if you don't have enough followers, they try to keep you from without getting on, and as if that means you don't have any good points or any good thing to talk about. But I don't really care. If we talking in good faith and good favor, man, you can come on with one follower. That was 26 years ago when they done that. Let me see what my brother's talking about, and that's an amazing childhood.
Okay. Oh, I was just commenting on Jerome George's when he was like, "Not all kids. Some enjoy skateboarding or playing basketball."
Yeah, I saw the comment. That was a good comment. Not all kids. I understood what he said, but I don't know, Jerome. But if you do what Blazing said, it says it's a little thing in the corner that says guest. Push that button, and I'll gladly invite you on. My sister, greetings. Going to London, that really told me that things are pretty much the same no matter where you go. And the favor that we see in America, and I say in America because that's not the same favor we see everywhere. A lot of times you don't see that same favor. Yes, yeah. Listen, I'm gonna contact you as soon as this is over if you can't join on. Um, YouTube, uh, TikTok. I work for the parks and see them playing all the time. All right, so my brother Jerome says I pressed the multi-person, then it went to another page and it still couldn't come on. So my brother Jerome said he works for the parks and see them playing all the time. Now, what I'm saying, Jerome, is what I was saying is at my age, when we were young, the inspiration. You are right, and you're making a great point for me, and I don't think you're trying to actually not help me make a point. Okay, my brother said I prefer listening. All right, respect. And so and keep feeding the comments so I can refer to what you're saying. And so you say you work at the parks and you see kids playing all the time, and you understand that all kids don't like basketball and skateboarding. I agree. That's because they don't see it as much. That's what I think. And some of these kids will be doctors and lawyers as well. But what I'm saying is, yeah, what I'm saying is, you see more kids today doing these things at home, staying inside, turning into introverts, sitting on their computers, finding friends on the internet instead of actual friends physically. Um, even if they get into stuff on the games together, playing online together with friends, That is different from how it was when I grew up, when we physically went outside, when we didn't get sick easily because we played in the dirt. We touched the dirt. And so um, there was not all of these things where every little thing got us sick. We got in touch with nature. We knew our neighbors. We knew our neighbors' children. We knew the people on the next street and their children because there was nothing for us to all come together, play freeze tag, play basketball, play football. And it don't stop there. You can play games that you use in your mind. But what I'm saying is people hide and seek. I mean, when the last time you seen kids play hide and seek? In Manhattan or upper class, kids are more into computers. Brother, I've been to Manhattan. I'm not gonna act like I know Manhattan, but um to try to tell me and that might be, how old are you, Jerome? I wouldn't come on. Okay. So I don't know how old you are, but how your age would actually support your narrative better. I don't doubt that computers are a thing. That's what I was just saying. But I will tell you this. I don't think that that is isolated to Manhattan. I don't think it's isolated to Manhattan, my brother. I'm telling you, in 2024, or for the last decade, kids in Manhattan, kids in England. No, actually, I don't know about that. But kids in Manhattan, kids in Tallahassee, Florida, kids in California, kids in Texas, kids everywhere are now more in tune to the computer. I've done the same in your area and understand. Yeah. Well, I done the same in your area and understand. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm just saying it's a different thing. 55 years old. Oh yeah, okay, Mark, okay. I'm trying everything and cannot get on. Yeah, my brother 55 years old. So you're actually um older than me. But God is good. God is good. It's a good thing. Yeah. And so I'm trying to get Shannon on. Oh, you know what I did? It was me. I think it was me. It's similar over here in the UK. All right. So Deanne says it's similar in the UK. Um, and the reason why I kind of doubted that, or I really wasn't sure, is because uh, when I was in the UK, I guess I get well. I mean, I guess I don't have an. I guess that's right. I guess being that I was in an environment where I was set and I went to actually do strategic things and a set program. I saw only those things that I was supposed to see, so to speak. And so Deanne actually says that D Phipps actually says that it's similar over here in the UK. And so my brother's, let me see, 70s was the best year, but no longer follow the age except for the wisdom part. All right. Oh man. Yes. Man, I had to laugh at that. And in a good way, my brother. It's crazy because I often tell people, I'm like, man, some of the people that I used to look up to are the same people that are now like what? Questionable. Some of those people that we look to, as he said, the 70s was a great year in a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways. People you could look up to, the type of love you got from the community. And when I say love, I'm talking about love that came in butt whippings too. You know, when your mother would come knock on somebody else's door and say, yeah, your son ain't go to school. I got on him. I'll just let you know for you can get on him too. The 70s, man, were the best times. And now some of those leaders from the 70s and the 80s are now the same people speaking against the very thing they was trying to guard us against. It's crazy. It's a really crazy dynamic. And so, yeah, I just think when it came to the interaction that we had, even the aggression in a good way. I don't mean aggression in a bad way. The WHO, the World Health Organization, recognizes gaming disorder that affects 8.5% of young gamers under 18. Wow. And and that's serious. That's a serious number, but even more important, it's coming from the World Health Organization. So when they put out stats, even though I know they might be, sometimes we found them to be biased. When it came to the coronavirus type thing, used to hit the U.S. hit us in elementary. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Imagine that. But yeah. So the World Health Organization is recognizing the effect of these games are doing to these kids, and I would say those effects are not only psychological, mental, and physical. Yeah, I mean, definitely physical because our kids are getting fatter these days. I mean, that's a bad word. That could be a cancellation word. D, you would be surprised at the words that you could get canceled for saying over here. I was just speaking, and basically, you can't speak truth. Basically, don't say truth. It has to be all fun, and you can only cover topics that brings great feelings. But sometimes the truth is bad, and so it'll get you canceled. So if I use some words that sound crazy, it's just that's just what we're doing. That's just how the U.S. has gotten. The teachers, my brother Jerome spoke of the teachers that used to hit us in elementary school. Pretty blazing. How old are you?
I am 33.
Were they hitting kids in school? Was teachers still, somewhat paddling or principal? Could you go to the principal's office and get a paddle back when you were coming up at the age of 33?
No, but my opinion now, I would definitely prefer teachers actually paddling kids to straighten them up than for teachers to be, teaching kids about gayness and transgender and all that type of stuff right there. Like, as a mother, I don't need my child to be learning all that foolishness in school when she's like 3. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It seems like they teaching all the kids, don't matter what age they are.
I think I figured it out. Shannon and, let me see.
And they still teaching Shannon the kids Luno. So it's crazy.
Bam. I think I just figured it out. Bam. All right. Yeah. Huh?
I say there she is. She finally came on, Shannon.
Yes. And so. Hello.
Country, Shannon.
Somebody.
I ain't country. I'm from New Orleans.
Okay, New Orleans. What's up? My brother.
That ain't country. Come on now. Well, that's the first time I actually heard of New Orleans. Might be Cajun, maybe.
Okay.
Cajun, okay. We can deal with Cajun. All right.
Bro, what's up, my brother?
I was like, what the heck is going on? I'm pressing every button on here, and what is going on here?
Well, it's okay. So we just was talking about. I know you said some comments that were really interesting, and I just wanted to invite you on to speak about it because I thought your point was right on point, and I even built a point off of your point. So go ahead.
I don't know if you said this or not, but it was the Democrats who passed that bill that if there were black fathers in the house,
yes, I do.
Women would get no money.
Yes, I do know. Yeah.
And it was also the Democrats who passed the '94 crime bill. The precious President Joe Biden.
Right. Uh-oh. Yeah. I totally. I
swear to God, every time I see that man, I just want to go. I swear, I wish he was close enough to me. I'd punch stroke that man. Okay?
Oh, you gotta be
right next to you.
Yeah, y'all. Hey, listen, hold on, wait. Time out. You have to be careful what you say, Shannon, because this is especially on TikTok. they will definitely cancel you very quickly. And I don't want you to get canceled. I want you to be able to state what you was stating, because I thought your points was right on point.
I understand. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I gotta watch my mouth.
Yeah, and listen, I understand it makes you mad enough to actually speak about it in that regard.
Yeah.
I totally understand. So I wanted to read a comment from the UK. Of the kids in the United Kingdom, ages 3 to 117. I think that is, maybe it's 3 to 11. All right, so ages 3 to 11, 89% play video games, and the average of a gaming addict is 24. And there's a support group called Game Quitters. 1 million people suffer gaming addiction in UK. That's a lot. And that's a lot, and it feeds to everything that we're talking about. This gaming, I don't know, this gaming nation, this whole gaming life. I don't knock it. I got games too. What I'm saying is it brought about a different culture. And I saw something earlier where Jerome said something really, really strong, really good.
I can say this. I have a 15-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been homeschooling him since 6th grade. Okay. When COVID hit, at the time when COVID hit, and they, made all the kids learn from home.
Right.
Yeah, that was a disaster. Okay. But anyway, he was in 6th grade.
Right.
So I would make him sit in here in the living room with me, so I could see like what they were teaching, how they were teaching, and stuff like that. There were 5 children in the 6th grade. 6th grade. 5 children that could not read.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking at my son going, well, why the hell are they in the 6th grade then? He says, Mama, I don't know. I just sit there and do my work. I don't even care. I said, okay, but that is giving them absolutely no chance whatsoever in this world.
Right.
You know? And the teachers want to holler, we need more money. We need more money. We need more money. Which, if you were teaching something, maybe you would need more money, okay? But I don't think you need more money because you have to deal with, with children who are out of control and out of hand, and then half the class you dealing with the little bastard, excuse me, in the corner over here throwing furniture and cursing the teacher out and beating up the teacher and all that. And then therefore no other child in the class learns anything either.
Yeah, that's unfortunately that's just the way it's going, and I don't think it's isolated at all. But like you said, like my brother said, like hold on 1 second, hold on 1 second, Shannon, hold on 1 second.
I'm sorry, that's just
no, you're right. Like my brother Jerome said, earlier, kids are sitting at home now. And the more they sit home, the easier it is. I would think the diabetes rate for children, for younger kids, are going up. And you find it a lot. Inactivity, sitting home, eating, spending hours and hours. That's why they gave us a warning. They actually got a warning that comes up, uh, letting you know how much time you spent on your phone, how much activity you spent, because that screen time is not good. And my brother made a great point, by saying, kids sitting at home all the time, they're at risk of diabetes, and we see this more and more. So true about what you're speaking about, and so true about what you added to the conversation, Shannon. Um, yeah. Not only
my son gets
hold on. Wait a minute. 1 second, Shannon. Michael, if you can come on for a second. Mike Thompson, Trump 2024. That's probably in regards to something Shannon was saying. Because obviously the leadership at the top is where a lot of this is coming. I mean, obviously, that's not effective in our homes as far as the video games and all of this stuff. The inability of our children, the health of our children, all of that stuff comes right inside of the home. You can't let your child just sit down and play these games all day, not have any exercise, not have any type of uh, even stretching or arithmetics and whatever. Man, get your child active. This is all of this stems from the one conversation of Happy Father's Day and the Father's Day being watered down, the Father's Day being a harder thing to even recognize. Agree with you 100%, host. I appreciate that, Mike Thompson. Um, Father's Day being like, you know, like I said, I don't know the history of things, so I don't want to come on here and act like I do. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. So I don't want to come on here and act like I do, but I don't know how long and who made Pride Month the same month as Father's Day. But I know since I've been conscious enough to recognize this, you know, there's also been a recognizable consciousness of how small Father's Day really is. And when you recognize how small Father's Day really is, it's sad because in regards to a lot of the problems in our communities, it's surrounded by fatherless homes. So that's a dynamic that we have to actually. Um, is that Shannon?
You get one day for Father's Day, and then the entire month of June
Right.
is Pride Month. Why they need a whole damn month?
I don't know.
Every goddamn day of their life. What they need a whole month for?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Shannon. Yeah, I don't know, but I know one thing. Uh, the bigger it gets, the smaller the Father's Day, the activity around Father's Day, the support for Father's Day, the recognition for Father's Day, and the free stuff on Father's Day get smaller and smaller.
Right.
For people like myself. You
Right.
know, how do you feel? One Veterans Day, and yeah, yeah,
I agree with everything.
yeah. Tim just made a comment. One Veterans Day, and Tim, I want you to know that's a really, 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 really strong statement. Because wait, hold on, Shannon. Wait a minute, 1 second. That's a really, really strong statement because I worked at the Veterans Administration. And so I wanted to actually highlight and respect what my brother Tim said. I worked at the Veterans Administration. And now I work at a place where I do the same thing, but it's just not at the Veterans Administration. The Veterans Administration, what I thought would have been one of the most prestigious, clean, respectable buildings ever, was one of the most filthiest places I had ever been, was one of the most filthy places I ever worked in. It was so filthy that I actually did a whistleblower report. I actually started filming and taking pictures of all of this raw food, mold, and all of this garbage that they was feeding to our veterans. So out of respect for what my brother Tim said, as big as America puts the push on to act like they celebrate these veterans and they got so much love and support for these veterans and they take in millions, probably billions to support what they call that one Veterans Day, as my brother said. It's a sham. It's sad. It's a fundraiser, and the wrong people are getting most of that money. And so yeah, you're right. Only one Veterans Day as well. As he was kind of adding to what my sister was saying. Let me see what Shannon was saying as in regard to their month being celebrated for a full month, full 30 days versus 1 month for the veterans, one day for the veterans, 1 day for the fathers, 1 day for the mothers, one day for memorial, one day for this president, one day for Martin Luther King, one day for that president, one day for whatever you want to celebrate. There is no celebration on our calendar that we can celebrate unless we decide we want to do it for more than one day. If we decide we want to celebrate for more than one day, we can. But there is no other way. There is no other day that they allow you to celebrate or have on the calendar to celebrate over one day. And when it comes to this Pride month or whatever, they are given. Yeah, let me read a couple of these comments really quick because there's some people are giving some nice things. So we have Belinda.
It was concerned in the comment that said, "Oh, you probably say the same thing about Black History Month."
Well, I would like. Hold on one second.
Only saying that because I am a YT person. Why else would they say something like that?
Well, I don't know. They could be referring to me because being that they said I probably say the same thing about Black History Month, or are they referring to what you said? But I don't really um have a response for that. But if you want to respond to it,
towards me, and I do not appreciate it because I'm not like that.
Well,
so
yeah. I mean, that person probably feels worthy of this month being celebrated more, and they didn't come out in a disrespect. Live and hold on, live and let live. Celebrate your fathers. Some fathers not worthy, and do better. And that comes from the same person. So I don't really think they was looking for too much friction. I think they was just they made a comment. You didn't appreciate it. Everything
but they say, oh, you only get 1 month of Black History Month. Well, and this is only my opinion. Black History Month. Black history is American history.
Well,
it should be taught all year long.
Well, actually,
1 month out
yeah.
of the year,
Hold on,
all
Shannon.
year long.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, I do not agree.
Shannon. It's not an argument. That's what I'm telling you. It's not an argument. It's Father's Day. We're just celebrating Father's Day. Okay, they made a simple comment, and to be honest, I read the comments, and they're continuing to make comments, and I don't think they're looking for an argument. That is the reason for commentary. That is the reason for TikTok. I appreciate that people can actually make statements, and that's what conversation is. But I don't really think they're trying to make a argument. So I don't want you to take over the feed with an argument because the only way people grow is conversate, and the lack of growth is the lack of conversation and listening. That's a fact. And so I know she's not that person. Belinda is not alone in how they feel. If if and guess what else? There could be somebody on here who celebrates Pride. Listen to me for a second, Shannon. So there could be a listener, and I appreciate any listener, anybody that supports. So if there's a supporter that's listening right now and they actually celebrate Pride Month, okay, they could actually be offended, and without them saying, hey, why are you talking about this? They want to know, would you feel this way about Black History Month? I think it's a fair question. But the best way to answer it is to just answer it. Right. That's right. It's a general statement, not towards an individual. Exactly. And so I actually think it's actually kind of logical. And like I said, especially if a person is coming from a supportive standpoint of that community. They don't see a problem with the full celebration of the month. The same way a lot of blacks that celebrate Black History Month, they don't see a problem with the full celebration. And I will tell you why. As a person that has no support, I don't support or participate not one bit in Pride. But as a black person, and I don't support Black History Month either. I don't participate in it because I'm conscious of my Black history all month. So I don't get caught up into that game where I need to wait till February to start acting like I want to study Black history. to go to these dress ups with these clowns because they choose to teach their kids Black History 1 month. But so for a person coming from that community, they look at it the same as those people that do love Black History Month and celebrate Black History Month without all of the financial stuff that come with it. So they look at it the same. They look at it as a nation of people that were held back, a nation of people that had to fight for a lot of different rights in America. That would be Black people, which is why Black History Month was not an insult. It was something given, almost like an apology, almost like we're sorry for some of these things. And here, I mean, that's not the actual effect. The actual effect was making a lot of people not pay attention to their Black history for 11 months. And then in February, they paid attention to it. But what I'm saying is, for that gay community that says we had to fight to be recognized. We had to fight for marriage. We had to fight for this and for that. And so for them to have a full month, it doesn't seem, it actually seems fair to them because of how long they had to overcome some of these issues. But I would tell them to look, the difference between the Black History Month, in my opinion, and Pride Month. Pride actually is conscious of pride all year. I mean, we just saw pride in Easter. Remember, the White House couldn't even celebrate Easter because of pride, and so to speak, so many different ways. And so the thing about pride is they have pride 11, 12 months out of the year. They are fighting for their rights. They are fighting to be heard, seen.
Right.
They are fighting, 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 fighting. I can't take nothing from pride, and I can't knock people for fighting for what they want.
Well, no, no, of course not. I have a few gay friends,
Right.
but the whole thing is you saying, oh, they fighting for this, fighting for this. Well, the gay men back in the 70s and 80s fought for this,
Right.
fought
That's my
to
point.
have their
That
rights,
is my
you
point.
know.
Well, that's my point. And
And
so,
now all of a sudden it's become something else.
well, yeah,
You know,
no,
now
no.
they say, oh, we want to fight because we deserve our rights and da 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 da, whatever. You got those rights back in the 70s and 80s when the gay people fought for it back then.
Well, I mean, it's not really. Look, I have to just
I'm
be
just
honest.
saying.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm
I'm just.
just putting that out there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, but we have to
and
be
I don't have a problem with them, wanting to express themselves
right.
and all this.
What
I
it?
have a problem with them
Right. Let me
having
look. D.
parades with all their
Right.
little
Shannon.
wangers hanging
Shannon.
out.
Shannon.
You know, I,
Shannon just. I don't know if she. I don't know. I think she might mute while she's talking, and she don't hear anything else. I agree with what you're saying. 100, 100%. Um, the thing is, when you're talking about it, you have to actually look at it in its scope, and we might not support it. There are white people in America that still don't support the African in America, the African American, or whatever you want to term you want to use. So
right,
I
right.
we still may not support it. I don't, and I agree with you. That vehicle has taken on different legs, and it has gone somewhere, and it's running fast. And so I
Yeah.
agree with you. I agree with you 100%. What I am
I
saying,
think,
wait, hold on. What I am saying is, no matter what people are fighting for, no matter what they are fighting for, and
right.
I know as a fighter, I don't, I was just speaking to somebody on the YouTube page, uh,
Uh,
in London. I think you heard me, in the United Kingdom. I know them not from social media like we do so much today. We only know people, and you know we, but I know them from being there fighting, and being
right,
there doing underground work. So I know what it is, and I know how many people can criticize you or stand against you. White, black, yellow, brown, it doesn't even matter. But the thing
right,
is, everybody has the right to fight for that thing in which they believe. And when people stand against it, that's just life. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to the gay community, in respect,
Right.
I think it's unfair to say, and I'll say, like I say, I don't. I'm speaking as a father in Pride Month, so I am making it clear. I don't like what's going on, but in respects and in regards to it, I remember Obama passing laws for the gay community, so we can't say they got it all in the '70s. They didn't get it all in the '70s. They've been fighting.
Okay.
They've been fighting since the '70s. Obama did things for them. Don't ask, don't tell. When it came to the army,
Right.
he also did the gay marriages. Now they're talking about fighting for, if your spouse dies, if they're gay, and if something happens to them in the line of battle, do you have a right to have their the same way in a natural marriage? Would
Right.
you be able to get
Right.
benefits? So
Right.
these are things they are still fighting for. And so I just say it's not. I don't want to make it too much about the gay community versus the. I just want to make it about. I just wanted to say, huh?
You said about how Obama made it for gay marriage, okay? And I don't know if you recall or not, but when Obama and Dementia Biden I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I just gotta add that in there when I say his name. I'm so sorry.
No, that's cool. That's
But
cool. I actually, they don't even have a problem with that. They have a problem with with us talking about that community.
Well, at the time when he was with Obama, he wasn't demented. Okay.
Actually, he was. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. Having said everything that you said, we have to remember this about Joe Biden. If you say he wasn't demented then that person who said something to you earlier, they're gonna have a problem with that. Because Joe Biden was demented then, and so he was either demented then or he's demented now. But he can't be. He can't be the same. And the reason why I say that is this.
Right.
Because Joe Biden built his history on a lot of racism. And he built his history on racist statements. He built his history on all kind of things. And when Obama was running, remember Joe Biden was supportive of Hillary Clinton, and he said bad things about Obama. So I don't want to say he was demented. I think he was in his right mind.
A nice, clean cut.
There you go. There you go.
You know.
Exactly.
People couldn't see this.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
couldn't see this.
I don't know how he ever got chosen.
Like they only voted for Obama because they wanted the first black president. And I voted for Obama twice.
Right.
I wasn't voting because Biden was his vice president. I voted strictly for Obama.
Right.
To be president. But then a lot of things started coming out after he was gone and all this.
Right.
Now we come to find out a whole bunch of stuff about him, that he was originally born in Kenya, and he admitted to that.
Right.
What is that?
Well, Obama.
Sorry,
yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I muted it for a second. You can unmute whenever you're ready. But yeah, Obama's not relevant to the conversation right now. He is a father, so hope you have a good day. But I just wanted to kind of recognize Father's Day and recognize how watered down it has gotten, and a lot of the things that are feeding to that. It's been happening for a long time, and it's also part of an agenda. I think it's an open, clear agenda. And like Shannon actually said, the regular movement that used to be of the '70s and '80s of the gay community has taken on different legs, different arms, and it has funding like none other. So I think fathers should celebrate while they can, but at the same time, it's not like we just have to celebrate because the calendar tells us to. So fathers need to be fathers, to be proud of being fathers every day. Fathers should be recognized every day, just as well as mothers. But like I said, just got the number one gifted badge. Thank you, my brother Andrew Robinson. Thank you for the gifted badge. Yeah, I think fathers, and like I say, with no disrespect or water down on mothers, because my mother is a woman. Um, um, obviously, right? It's hard to tell these days. And but I say fathers, the fathers have right. Well, like we agree on that. That's they're trying to say something different, and so which is why what we're talking about is so important today. The fathers, the one of the number one issues, as Larry Elder like to say, in the black household, the poor communities, that household can be Hispanic as well. It's fatherless homes. And then when you look at, politics turning down that narrative right there, even having less kids, even the birth rate of America, the death rate is finally catching up with the birth rate. I don't know if people understand what that means, but the death rate is finally catching up with the birth rate. We used to have a birth rate to death rate like 4 to 1.
Yeah.
It's almost even, like, really. That means for everybody that's being born, somebody dying.
Right.
It's never been that way. And that's because less people are being born. And with black people given birth certificate at a higher rate than any other color, this tells us that this is what I want my community to recognize. If you're aborting babies at a higher rate than any other color of woman in the world, and let me see. Fathers deserve to be celebrated. There are too many. There are too many who are doing amazing, unreported. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and take part of that claim. I appreciate that. Yes, yes. All of the fathers, the Andrews of the world. And yeah, my army guy, everybody, man. Fathers need to be celebrated. Um, yeah, with black women not being nearly the percentage of the world that it should take to be aborting the amount of babies that they are aborting. I think 40% out of all of the women. That is an attack, and that means with babies being born less everywhere. That means you talking about that's some type of smart genocide, some type of unviolent genocide. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's
I know.
the leftist. The leftist
Thank you.
is, they want to make it, oh yeah, you can abort your child up until the 9th month. What?
Yeah. I think yeah, they're actually saying that to anybody, and that's sad. It's sad that you can, I'm gonna tell you, Shannon.
Personally, I think if a woman is, say more than 4 months pregnant, okay, and they decide to have an abortion, whether it's 4 months, 5 months,
I love the Southern
months,
accent.
9 months, whatever, I believe they should have to sit there and watch exactly what they do in order to have an abortion. Because what they do is they go in there with clamps and they just rip parts of the baby apart, like rip a leg off, rip an arm off, squish their head enough to where they can get it out. I really believe if they had to watch a video like that, I think they would change their mind.
Possibly.
But according to them, they believe that a baby in the womb, even at 9 months, is nothing but a clump of cells.
Right. I mean, I think they know better, and I don't want to. Anytime you want to talk about that, you can call me on. I am well versed in anything. Today, I'm really, I didn't even have much time, so I'm gonna be getting out of here in a second.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
that just came to mind, and look, my husband just came home, and like you said, it's Father's Day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my son and I are gonna go cook some breakfast for him.
Amen. That's what I'm talking about.
Enjoy the rest of the day together as Father's Day. And I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. Everyone in your life who is a father.
Thank you.
Hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. Mothers as well.
Thank you.
If you are a single mother, happy Father's Day to you.
Yeah.
Also.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And tell your husband and your son Happy Father's Day, and y'all have a good and y'all have a good celebration. Will. Thank you.
I appreciate you inviting me into your live.
Oh
thank
yeah,
you so
yeah.
Very much.
Oh, thank you for the commentary.
I really enjoyed it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed.
Okay. Y'all have a good day.
You too. You too.
All righty. Bye.
Bye bye. Yes. She had some great points there, and man, that had some stuff that was definitely a whole nother conversation for another day, which was right on point too. So hopefully she'll come on again when I'm bashing Joe Biden. Anyway.
I heard that.
Yeah, I say hope. Yeah, hope.
I'm trying to figure out how to get off of here now.
Yeah, hopefully you'll come on when I'm ready to, talk about those Democrats.
I'll sit here all day long and bash that dementia patient, okay?
I can tell. Tell. All right.
Oh yeah.
Have a good one.
You too. Thank you. Can you disconnect me? I have no idea how to do this.
Yes. To be honest,
You don't know either. We're gonna.
Boom! I think I just did it. I just did it. All right, I did it. I figured it out. I know. D Phipps, I so appreciate you for. I don't even know how you joined, but I so appreciate you for joining. From the YouTube, I so appreciate everybody from TikTok. Pretty Blazing for coming in, even having some comments, and Shannon. Thank y'all for all the love. My brother who gave me the gifter badge. I appreciate that. Man, it's just beautiful conversation, beautiful topics. Remember, a conversation ain't a conversation when you're by yourself. So I'm gonna talk to you right now. Aha, ha, ha, trying to interrupt. Yes, God is good. And man, it's been a beautiful day already. Tim. Okay. Yes, you were awesome. All right. Okay. Awesome. Great live. Thank you. I'm gonna get out of here.